Do you have anything? Everything.
So we create on this place what ifs, different ones. Like a different perspective, word towards different languages of what if for you and what if for me and what if for all together were together on these writings and on these ideas of a future or not a parallel universe. One of the things that most I got attached with was like to have the communication with the people from the village, from the place that are here on the day of the exhibition. Was this guy that came to me after the performance, asked, what was that about? Like, I did not understand. Like, was she trapped? Or, I felt like sorry for her, and I was like, well, what was that about for you? And then he started to create his own narrative of what if.
It's all very recent. It's like in '92, things were still happening here. And this is the year I was born, actually. And it was not long ago. And I think it brought me a new perspective of the concept of borders.
You will have the audience who will never experience that kind of trauma of losing the country. But everyone has smelled food and everyone has had a cut or a bruise. If you have these enormous cracks that go through structures, both literally and metaphorically, how do you create something like a phoenix from the ashes?
The whole school system should be changed because how to prove or say that you have certain knowledges, because we are suppressing a lot of potential and innovations that refugees bring with them.
So the work that I was doing all of a sudden became more about the infrastructures, and I was interested in these power players more than the migrants themselves. What we were witnessing is really the emergence of a new industry of people trafficking. So the Western Union office in Bihać was working around the clock because people would be back in town, they would not have anything to start again going through, to try to attempt to cross the border. And I've met people who tried 27 times to cross the border. You could not get into the camp. You know, you had to fill out tons of forms, and if you were an anthropologist, an artist, and so on, you were immediately rejected. Who would get a permit, a lot of conservative media, RTL, etc. But we would speak to the people when they would step out of the camps. And then you find out the conditions are horrible. They're kind of keeping them practically in prison.
We wanted to go over the feeling of fear that it's like crossing borders and bringing some lovely dance towards it, some other atmosphere.
The region over the border, where you've been yesterday, and today of course, Lika, is so close. We are so close to each other, but I have that impression that we don't know each other. This is something that you are witnessing, some kind of, I would say...
That's working.
Yes, that never, I don't dare to say, but I would say never existed actually in the last 30 years. Or you correct me, if you know something, maybe I'm just talking about my experience. So.
Rundgang in unsere Galerie. Super, super. Please join us in a gallery, please. We have food, curating the food. This is your stuff, man. I told you I will catch you tomorrow in Bihać. One of the Dutch soldiers wrote that inscription. It was a graffiti on the wall in their barracks. If you come next time, in next year or in next 2 years, you will see maybe more interventions in an immediate neighborhood here around.
It was a great learning experience to think that people got in wars because of these borders, and what do they mean actually if not just a line in a map, but it's much, much more deeper than that.
Now, let's turn this page together and stand behind each other.
Du bist ein bisschen langsam, deswegen will ich, dass du alles mir überlässt. Was für schwache Leute gibt's heutzutage? Was für schwache Leute gibt's heutzutage? Drei Leben hab ich schon gelebt, der vierte ist, denk ich, auch vorbei, wenn du daran etwas ändern könntest, würde ich immer bei dir sein, du kannst es
Backstage. This is a backstage team from the festival, dismantling the art, the setting, everything.